Our project involves the construction of a high-speed line connecting Leeds to Manchester. Our aim is to help the North adapt to its growing needs considering sustainable consumption, production, and development. This would unlock the economical, industrial, and technological potential of several cities in the North.
Manchester has a population of 2.6 million in the urban area and is ranked the 7th largest city in the UK. With continuous economic growth in the last decade, its wider metropolitan economy is the 3rd largest in this country. Our project is expected to bring a significant number of new jobs as well as regeneration around Manchester Piccadilly station.
About Leeds, the current population is 760,000 with 9.6% unemployment rate. It is one of the principal hubs of the Northern Motorway. In the future, about 4,000 jobs will be created and the area surrounding Leeds High-Speed Rail Station will be regenerated.
The region comprises farmlands, moorlands, and large urban and suburban areas. Interconnection between Manchester and Leeds are problematic because of a hill range, the Pennines, which is crossed only by a few transport corridors. A number of preservation schemes restrain development throughout the region. The region possesses a number of important towns, providing a large labour pool. It has a strong manufacturing heritage, and this sector still accounts for a higher-than-average proportion of employment. With deindustrialization, the public sector has become a prominent employer. The service sector is expected to create more and more jobs.
This map depicts the most important economies in the north of England. For our project, it is also important to take a step back and note the impacts that improving the Manchester-Leeds link would have on the surrounding cities. By reducing journey times and increasing capacity, and since the link would be incorporated into the current HS2 plans, the whole northern economy would benefit, decentralizing the power from London. To put the project in context, it is important to have a HS2 background. The current HS2 plans involve a Y-shaped route comprising 2 phases. Phase 1 connecting London to Birmingham, and Phase 2 joining Birmingham to Manchester and Leeds at either side of the Pennines. There is a need to also change the connectivity between Manchester and Leeds, since its existing line is at full capacity and the journey is long.
Why change? Because existing lines lack infrastructure. It would re-energize the northern economy by creating jobs and would provide good financial revenues to the government. How change? Incorporate the needs of the people and of this planet while leaving room for improvement.
To begin the route selection process, we split into groups to consider each aforementioned region, urban, Pennines, and rural-urban transition, along with existing rail routes to come up with 2 route alignments, one from Manchester Piccadilly and one from Manchester Airport, both going to Leeds New Lane. Route A is from Manchester Piccadilly. It is the shorter route at 60.4 kilometres and has the big advantage of completely avoiding the protected national park. It also navigates the Peak District at its narrowest section of Peak, which is favourable for tunnelling. It does, however, require some tunnelling in the Manchester area. Route B is from Manchester Airport and is the longer route. This route goes right through the protected national park, but it does make use of an existing unused tunnel in the Pennines at Woodhead. In addition, this route requires significant lengths of tunnelling through the built-up Stockport area.
Constructing the line from Piccadilly is beneficial because the route is shorter, it goes through inner Manchester, and the national park is completely avoided. However, constructing the line from the airport makes Manchester a global hub, avoids urban areas, and thus there is less tunnelling, and makes use of a disused tunnel.
For sustainability, we have used a similar framework as was used in other high-speed rails. The framework was divided into 4 main sectors, namely creating sustainable community, which includes noise and visual impacts, protecting nature and culture, which includes biodiversity and habitat conservation, tackling climate change, and constructing sustainably. The framework was applied onto our project where we roughly divided the region into different zones, each having different priorities. In the purple zones, we focus on sustainable communities and the protection of cultural heritage. In the green zone, we prioritize natural conservation, while in the blue zone is where we aim to strike a balance between the people and the environment. We look at issues affecting the whole route. This is mainly divided into 4 main issues, namely carbon emissions, where we aim to reduce greenhouse gases, climate resilience, that is to ensure the system runs despite changes in the climate, safety and security, and wider economic benefits of the region.
There are technical specifications that our alignment will have to comply with. These come in the form of codes and contain considerations about horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, design speed, maximum superelevation, and signaling. The compliance with the standards is key since it will ensure the safety and comfort of all railway users.
Based on the assumption used by HS2, the total cost of our project is around £9 billion, and we believe it will generate an additional premium to the taxpayer once it reaches the steady state. Our estimation of benefit-cost ratio is about 2.3 at this stage, and it is considered to be significantly higher with longer-term demand growth.
For the economy of our high-speed rail project, uncountable effects include bringing business close together, direct saving in costs and labour supply benefits, and the countable total impact brought to UK productivity would be £4 billion.
Trans-North Rail Line must be modern today and in the future. To achieve this, we adopted a Victorian design approach where we equip our infrastructure to remain relevant 100 years from now. To design for the future, we devised a thought experiment. If high-speed rail in particular and rail travel had not been invented and we were proposing the idea for the first time, what would the concept look like? After looking at ways in which we could update, modernise and innovate, a few proposals we put forward include having automated trains combined with a radar-based control and signalling system, as seen in the Google Car Convoy's trial in California, hydrophobic rails so the track does not become slippery in the rain, and gyroscopic rail sensors that can send alerts out if the rails become damaged.